What is up, Impact Nation? Welcome to another new episode of the Anthem of Impact Wrestling show. I am your host, Jason, and we're going to go over last night's November 9th episode of Impact Wrestling. Overall, I thought it was a really good show, very entertaining. It felt different. I don't know if anybody else felt that way. Just everything about it just felt different, even though like there wasn't a whole lot of different things about it. It finally felt different. It felt like a new era. Like it kind of just came across that way. Um, Again, I don't know if it was just me or not. I don't know, but like I said, I thought overall it was pretty good. So let's dive into this episode. It starts off with JB and Josh in the ring, just kind of going down the card of what's going to happen tonight. That night. Um, if like I've always said, I think Impact should be different, and they should start every episode with a match. Like entrances start, and they start going right into a match. Welcome to Impact Wrestling. We're kicking it off with this, and I think that's the way it should be done because the name is Impact. Like it should start with an impact, play off that name. But if they're not going to do that, I think this is actually kind of a really cool, different way to do it. You got your announcers in the ring, kind of going over what's going to happen on the show. It's just something a little different, I guess, right? But then after that, we go to Eli Drake. He's coming out to the ring. Let's see here. One thing I was kind of thinking, like the way that they have this partnership between Eli Drake and Chris Adonis, they should probably always have like Adonis wearing some kind of Eli Drake shirt. I think that'd be kind of funny because like he's like the big cheerleader. I thought this promo overall was really good. I thought his calling out, Eli Drake's calling out of Alberto El Patron was done really well. Eli's always amazing on the mic. Like he's like Eli Drake is so good on the mic. He still gets booed, even after getting beat up by a heel. Like, it's so funny how just like people love to hate him. But he talks about he has nobody else to compete with. There's just nobody else in Impact Wrestling that he has to compete with. He's beating everybody, right? But then out comes, and I love it. He's back to using that Team Canada music. Love it. But Petey Williams comes out, and he challenges for the title. Excuse me. But I guess it's going to happen next week. But they, go back and forth. Think it's really cool. It's really cool if they're giving him a shot. And this is kind of what I mean by, it felt like a new era, felt different. That Petey came out, and I just like the fact that they're going to kind of go this way, where just people are going to get shots, and they're going to wrestle all over, and it's just going to be athletes trying to fight for different belts, and not really like being just down in one class. Kind of like how Impact used to be. Where you had guys like Joe and Daniels and Kazarian and Styles and Jerry Lynn and Low-Key kind of going all over the place. Whether it was with tag titles, X Division, AJ and Joe went for the world. You had Kaz going after the world for a little bit. But people were kind of just up and down all over, right? So I thought it was really done really well. But Petey comes to the ring, of course, starts to kind of get beat up, and then he gets the upper hand, and as soon as he's like getting ready to do something, Adonis pulls Eli Drake out of the ring, and that is that. Then out comes Jimmy Jacobs again. I thought it was really cool. The crowd starts chanting his name, and he decides he's going to join commentary for this X Division match coming up next, this is a really good pairing. I was looking forward to this match, and it's Sanjay Dutt and Matt Sydal. I thought they did a really good job just with him in this one match. And I remember the 2 out of 3 falls. Sanjay Dutt and Low Key kind of did this as well. where throughout the match they wrestled the different style, almost kind of for different parts of the match, and so it shows how diverse the X Division is. It's not just about high spots and flying all over the ring. They did a lot of different stuff. Excuse me. Again, sorry guys. Just the weather here in Missouri has been like up and down all over the place. So, and I've been working on it, so kind of getting some drainage stuff. So I apologize if I'm constantly like trying to clear my throat or cough or something like that. Anyway, I thought this match was really good. Jimmy Jacobs, the whole time is talking about how like JB's disrespecting him and different stuff like this, and so he decides he's gonna leave because he's tired of being disrespected. I loved that really sick submission by Matt Sydal for the win. That was really cool. And then after the match, and again, this goes back to the whole having people wrestle everywhere. It doesn't matter. They're just having athletes face athletes. And you have EC3 coming out now and talking trash to Matt Sydal. And it looks like now they're going to have a feud. I think an EC3 versus Matt Sydal should be a lot of fun to watch. It should be a good program as far as those two kind of, they fit as far as how big of a heel EC3 can be to the exact opposite of the face that Matt Sydal can be. I think so. I think that pairing is going to be really good. This was kind of odd. And this match, and of course there's the women's match, where, obviously this match that I'm about to talk about is an old school match that they pretty much showed almost the whole thing of. One, I think it kind of helps with the Global Wrestling Network, kind of helps promote that. But with these two different matches that didn't happen, obviously, inside the Impact Zone, the Canadian Impact Zone, there in Ottawa, I think this is cool. I do like this concept of doing this, showing matches from other places that involved your talent, because I just didn't like it that it was done so much the 2 weeks right before your biggest pay-per-view. It should be, the ending, the ending of these stories going into that pay-per-view, and we weren't getting that. We were getting like random matches in Mexico and Japan and Canada and all that other stuff. Now this is, they're not leading to really anything. So this I think is a really cool idea, and I do like that format of showing these matches. But we do get an old school match of Team Canada, which was Bobby Roode, Eric Young, and Petey Williams taking on Hector Garza, Sanjay Dutt, and the Amazing Red. It was just really cool to see. I'm not going to go over it. If you guys want to really know what happened in it, go watch it on the Global Wrestling Network. For only $7.99. Anyway, then we come back to the arena and we get a great match out of Eddie Edwards and Phantasma for the GHC World Heavyweight title from Pro Wrestling Noah. And again, this was a great match. These two really worked well together. Super physical. They showed a lot of technical stuff there, and of course, Eddie pulls out the win. So Eddie's still looking strong, and I'm hoping what they're gonna do, and I could see them doing this, and I think this would be really smart, is just gradually, without anybody realizing it, have Eddie look really strong as the GHC champion, right? But he's beating other guys in Japan, beating other guys in Mexico. Maybe every once in a while he'll beat somebody in Impact, and then eventually, maybe leading up to Slammiversary. As long as Noah's okay with Eddie holding it on that long, you have Eddie face whoever is the current champ in Impact Wrestling, and you have title versus title to main event Slammiversary, or if they do another pay-per-view before that, like if they get to a pay-per-view before that, I think that would be really cool. Of course, then you would probably have Eddie go over, and now he's been built to be a top, like one of the biggest stars in the world as far as holding on to both those titles. And I think that'd be really, really cool. And then Impact Wrestling would have that guy, that star, that guy that is a champion of champions. I think it'd be really cool. And I think the way, all the stuff Eddie's put in, I think he definitely deserves it, right? So, after that, we get OVE versus Phil Atlas, and then I didn't catch the other guy's name, so I apologize. One thing I noticed right off the bat with Sami Callihan being in OVE now is the entrance. It just looks more complete. Like they all come out, and they're all ready. It just looked more put together. One thing that I always critiqued about OVE is their entrance, their ring attire, their look. It still came off as very indie, not star television ready. And I figured that they could figure it out at some point. And maybe it's because now Sammy's there and he's been on TV and he's been through a lot of this stuff. Like whenever he's at NXT, and I'm sure he's learned a lot being on Lucha Underground. It just seemed more complete, seemed more put together, and looked really cool. I thought this was a very good squash match. I wrote down here in my notes too. This is the team I thought we were getting like originally. Because I thought originally just like I kept hearing all these great things, and I saw some of their indie stuff right before they debuted, and I was like, okay, this should be really good. And then they came out, and it was just kind of like something was missing. But this was good. After OVE wins, LAX came out, and of course, Homicide comes in from behind and attacks. Good to see Homicide back. Always love Homicide. And we get a not a great Johnny Impact promo. I thought he should be a little more intense on that. To me, it just wasn't all that great. Then we get, again, from Border City Wrestling, I believe. Can't believe I forgot that already. We get Ali versus Casey Spinelli. Yeah. Okay, I do have it in my notes. Sorry, it was from Border City. I wrote down in this note as well, this is how it should be done. And what I meant by that is exactly what I was talking about. This is fine. It's the show after a pay-per-view. Yeah, you can show some of these matches from these other places. It gives them something, the places that, usually wouldn't get a bunch of TV time, like Border City Wrestling, and puts them in people's heads, and gets some eyes on their product. And, it's something different. And it's something to where whenever you're going to tape like this and on these big blocks, now it puts less wear and tear on your wrestlers, because you can go, well, you know what, you got a match coming up here, we're going to tape that instead, we'll add it on one of our shows, we'll do that, you know what I mean? So you don't have to film as much content in that week. But then after, and Ali wins, of course. I thought it was a pretty good match. Casey Spinelli didn't look as clunky in this match, to me at least. Then, that tag team match that I saw leading into Bound for Glory. Then after that, we get a backstage interview. Mackenzie's trying to interview Alberto El Patron, but he gets attacked by Johnny Impact. He dives over the table and attacks Patron. This is a great just brawl in the show. In fact, I was kind of surprised that it ended. I thought like my DVR just like cut it off real quick. I was like, well, wait, what happened? I go, no, okay, that's right. Because I have PlayStation View, and you can't like extend DVR. It just records it. At least, if anybody else has PlayStation View and they know how to extend recordings on your DVR for PlayStation View, let me know in the comments, okay? Because at least I can't figure it out. But man, they were selling their asses off, and I just thought this whole thing was really good. I don't know. I thought this whole thing was good. It's a great way to go off the show. If you're not going to have a match, have it just crazy like this and just end in total chaos and, oh my God, what's going to happen? Come back next week and you'll find out. So I think it's, and from everything I've been seeing from the tapings, I'm not reading spoilers or anything, and really there hasn't been a whole lot out there um, to see. But Impact puts out like these little advertisements to get people to show up that night of the taping. Man, we're gonna get a Barbed Wire Massacre 3 between OVE and LAX. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be awesome. I mean, and some of these other matches that I've heard about, I haven't seen who won, thankfully. But again, we're seeing these advertisements to try to get people to show up to the Aberdeen Pavilion. I mean, I'm ready. I am so ready to see what these weeks of tapings are. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye to Gale. We're gonna have to say goodbye to James Storm. Um, but man, I'm really intrigued to see what's gonna happen with this company, um, and see where what kind of vision that they actually are going in. And with Scott D'Amore meeting with New Japan, and apologizing like to Okada and some of this other stuff, like if that starts to happen, man, that's gonna be awesome. Um, like you get that, and then maybe you start working with Ring of Honor again. Um, and I think that's all good. If everybody that isn't part of the WWE can start working together, not necessarily against WWE, but just they work together, because nobody's just gonna all of a sudden start competing with WWE as far as like how it was whenever it was WCW WWE. Nobody's gonna sit there and try to like outdo them, because it's not gonna happen. They just have so much history, so much money, so much already established. Everybody else is kind of playing catch up, and it's gonna be tough to do. But as far as compete, maybe let people know that there's other wrestling out there. I think casual fans like WWE, but I also think there's a lot of casual fans that still watch it because they think that's really the only wrestling out there, and they still like wrestling. They're just not as diehards as, like, say, us, and they watch a bunch of YouTube shows or try to own every network and get to know anything and everything that there is about professional wrestling. What I mean? They don't have stuff like this. They're not subscribing to monthly subscription boxes of wrestling, but they watch it every week. I still think, Impact, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, New Japan, they can bring in these people and they'll have them start watching. I think they would enjoy it. I think they all have to band together and somehow start getting kind of some super shows. I think one thing that'd be really cool to see, Ring of Honor has 2 pay-per-views. What is it? Obviously there's Super Card of Honor. Is it Battle of the Worlds? Or Global Wars or something like that? I can't remember now. But anyway, there's definitely Super Card of Honor and this other one. Like, if all these people are working together, so if you have AAA, CMLL, Noah, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and Impact, maybe you can get like these super cards, the Super Card of Honor. So you have all these companies on this one pay-per-view. Then whenever you have your Global Wars or Best in the World or whatever it's called, then there's another chance for a super card, and get them on the pay-per-views, and people can start seeing it. Another thing that I think would be really cool is, and I've always said this, one thing that I loved about WCW is whenever they would have Clash of Champions on TV. WWE used to do a Sunday night main event. So if you can somehow, like, and it might take one of these people getting on a better network, but like, say you get to maybe trying to think here, man. I don't know what channels else you could be, because the WWE's already on USA, which is all the NBC stuff, so that's how they can get on NBC. If somehow they can, Impact or somebody can get on, say, like a Fox affiliate, or like a CBS, an ABC, something like that, one of the other two, to where one random Saturday night or a Sunday night, they do like a 2-hour special, limited commercials, get some sponsors in there, and run it like a pay-per-view. I think that'd be really cool, and that's another way you can get eyes on your product. Because they're going to be more likely to accidentally skip through checking on one of those networks, one of your local networks, rather than accidentally flipping on Pop TV. Nobody's accidentally flipping on to Pop TV. So you're not getting random people, eyes on your product just flipping through channels. So, I just think that'd be a good idea. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I think I'll be doing my first episode of the I'll Book It shows on Monday, I believe. I think I'll do it on Mondays. This week, just to kind of give you guys an idea, I came up with a topic, and it's just going to be how would I go about rebranding and restarting, if you will, Impact Wrestling. So I'll be going over that, and then after that, like I said, in the comments on my Twitter, send me some ideas, and I'll pick one and do it that next week. So until Monday, I will say peace.